Hello again and welcome to WTF Dog Training, working in conjunction with the Happy Dog Training Academy. I'm Graham, Master Dog Trainer and Canine Behaviourist. My goal in life, now I'm retired, is to teach dog trainers to be qualified dog trainers through the CPD group. Our aim, both mine and my staff members' aim, is to keep dogs away from rescue centres, keep them off the euthanasia table and keep them in family homes through our training regime. Okay, so I know you haven't come here to hear me talking about it, so let's get after it, shall we? Welcome to WTF Dog Training. Good evening and welcome to another podcast from WTF Dog Training. And this evening, what I want to talk about is cesarean sections. Cesarean sections, as we know from humans, it's intervention on cesarean births. But what I want to talk about is the Kennel Club. The Kennel Club, a governing body for what people would say dogs and a pedigree dog. In recent years, the Kennel Club have made the Jack Russell a pedigree dog a few years ago now, but the Jack Russell was never considered to be a pedigree dog, but the Kennel Club made it a pedigree dog. And in my opinion, very shortly, it won't be long before we find that the Cavapoo, Labradoodle and dogs like this that will be pedigree dogs very soon. They've already started being F1, F2 on the breed standards line, if you like. But are they actually pedigrees? Back in my day when I first started training some 30 years ago, these dogs would be classed as Heinz 57s, crossbreeds, if you like. They were just crossbreed dogs. They weren't actually pedigree dogs. But I digress again. Let's have a look at a few of these problem dogs, if you like. The first one I'd like to look at is the Boston Terrier. The Boston Terrier around about 900 to £2,500 in price wise for a puppy. The Boston Terrier, it requires an awful lot of human intervention when it comes to giving birth. Personal care and attention because of their small head size. The pregnant dam usually is a prime candidate for C-section. Around about 92 to 93% of these dogs will end up with a cesarean section. And the next dog we're going to have a look at is a well-known dog, the English Bulldog. Let's have a quick look at the English Bulldog. This is the English Bulldog, nice big dog, around about £1,000 to £1,500 for a reasonable puppy nowadays. The English Bulldog is known for its large head and its body size in condition to its mother. Its mother doesn't have a very big pelvis, and around about 86 to 87% in proportion of these litters will undergo a cesarean section. Like the American Bulldog, this canine breed is known to produce large litters, and large litters can tire the female out. And when we're talking about large litters, we're talking about 6 puppies should be an average litter, but these usually have between 8 and 10, maybe 12 puppies. And this is what we would call a double mating, where the male dog is put to the female twice. Average about 8 puppies to a litter, but there are a lot of problems with the dog because of the pelvic size of the female compared to the head of the puppy that you have. So that is the English Bulldog. Next dog we want to look at is the French Bulldog. The little Frenchie, a really popular dog nowadays is the French Bulldog because of their very small size. This is the French Bulldog. The French Bulldog, around about £3,000 to £4,500 nowadays for a French Bulldog. The French Bulldog is a small breed of bull breeds, and it's probably one of the smallest bull breeds, but it accounts for about 81%. About 81% of French Bulldogs will have a cesarean section because, again, it's the same problem that we see all over the place. It's the female's pelvic size to the puppy's head size. The puppy's head size is quite big. It's disproportionate to the head for the female's pelvic size. So the French Bulldog, for this reason, they don't tend to have massive litters, but they can charge anything up to £2,500 for a French Bulldog. Number 4 on our list is a Mastiff. This here is a Mastiff. Mastiff dog. one of the giant breeds, if you like, and £1,000, anything up to £1,000 to £2,000 for the Mastiff. The Mastiff, once again, they're a big puppy. When the Mastiff breeds, they have large heads again, and the Mastiffs, around 64% of these dogs will end up with Cesarean sections because of they're quite big, and the female, again, they have large litters and it can tire the female out. 8 puppies would be sort of the average litter, but again, double matings increase the litter size, and they can have up to 16 puppies, and that really tires the mother out. And the Cesarean section is ongoing, and because of their very long birth canal that the Mastiff has, they have a very long birth canal that makes it difficult for them to actually breed and deliver puppies. And the next dog on our list, number 5, is the Scotty, the Scotch Terrier. And this here is a little Scotch Terrier, £800 to £2,000 for a Scotch Terrier. And the Scotch Terrier under C sections, you're looking about 50 to 50, maybe 60% of these litters end up with Cesareans, again because of their long head and the long body of the Scottish Terrier, with a flat pelvis that these females have. They have a very flat birth canal, and they end up quite often having Cesareans. Around about 65% of these dogs will end up Cesareans. That's a Scotch Terrier. And the next puppy on our list is the Miniature Bull Terrier. The Miniature Bull Terrier, here's the Miniature Bull Terrier. A lot of people will recognise these dogs because they're called bullies and bully breeds. But the Miniature Bull Terrier, around about £1,000 to £2,000 for the breed, for the puppies. But they're high maintenance dogs, and they're very high maintenance to own. You've got to work and you've got to make sure you get them obedience trained, a lot of puppy socialization. But these mothers, around about 72% of this breed, the Miniature Bull Terrier, will end up with Cesareans because of their large chest, and it's their large chest that have a problem in actually delivering their puppies. So a lot of females end up with it, and the report they suffer from a real drop in temperature when the puppies are being born. So again, you've got to be really careful with the female. So that's the breed, the Miniature Bull Terrier. Number 7 on our list is the German Wire-Haired Pointer, around $1,500 to £2,500 for these dogs. These breeds are considered hunting dogs, and the Pointer is a breed on its own, really. And they're around about 40 to 50% of these dogs will end up with Cesarean sections, but it's not really a common problem for the dogs having C-sections. It's really a physical limitations. Rather than reporting them and losing puppies, the breeder really wants to keep as many puppies as they can, so they generally opt for Cesarean section, pure and simply because they like to enhance the breed. So that's the German Wire-Haired Pointer. Number 8 on our list, the Pekingese, around about £1,000 to £3,000 for these puppies. Their flat face and large eyes with big head tend to give them a lot of problems with the female delivering their puppies. And around about 80% of these dogs will end up having Cesarean sections, pure and simply because of their large head compared with the female's pelvis again. They do suffer with lots of other problems, with eye problems and various things like that, and a lot of these puppies don't make it through birth. A lot of the females don't make it through pregnancy. They lose the puppies before they're even anywhere near being born. So that's one of the reasons why these puppies can be rather expensive, but around 70-75% of these dogs will end up with Cesarean sections. The next dog on our list of top 10, if you like, is this one, the Dandy Dinmont, I should say. The Dandy Dinmont Terrier, a Scottish Border Terrier, around about £2,500 for these puppies. But with their long backs and short pelvis delivery system in their pelvis, it makes it very difficult for them to actually birth their puppies. And the Dandy Dinmont, it's around about 60 to 65% of these dogs will end up with Cesareans, but they are quite a rare breed now, coming from Scotland, and they're a very small-legged dog, but they do have a lot of problems in delivering puppies. So around about 60 to 65% of these puppies will end up with cesareans. Finally on our list is one of the giant breeds of dog. We all recognise this dog, I'm sure, the St Bernard. The St Bernard, they're around about £2,500 to £3,500 for a puppy these days, but around about 65% of the litter are born by a C-section, purely and simply because of the head size of the dog and the pelvic blockages. The St Bernard C-sections, they have a large litter, around about 7 in the litter is a large litter, but some of them have between 9 and 10. I've even known dogs to reach up to 16, but again, this is double and treble mating, and I think a lot of the breeders just like to have large litters, but they're kind of a large litter. Anything up to 8 is an average litter, and I think 10 to 15 can be an absolute large litter, but these dogs do suffer with a lot of problems because of the size for the puppy to be born. That's our top 10 hit list, if you like, of dogs that have C-sections. But the reason why I bring this up is not because I'm giving you false hopes of buying a puppy. If you want to buy a puppy, if you want to buy a St Bernard or any other dogs that we feature, the reason I'm bringing it up is because what I don't understand, what I can never understand, is why these dogs, or some of these dogs, are pedigrees. Why are they actually pedigree dogs when they can't give birth to their own children? They would naturally die out. If a dog can't give birth to its natural children, to its own children, then in my opinion, it really shouldn't be a pedigree dog. And if they're pedigree dogs that the Kennel Club have made pedigree dogs in the past, and because of the Dandy Dinmont and the Pekingese that can't give birth to the children, 90%, 95% of some dogs will have Cesarean sections. It's my opinion that really these dogs, should they be pedigree dogs? I don't think so, but that's the Kennel Club, and like I say, in the future, because they've now made the Jack Russell a pedigree, I predict, and see if I'm right in a few years time, maybe 10 years time, maybe a lot less, you'll find that the cockapoo, the labradoodles and dogs like that will become pedigree dogs. Hope you enjoyed this little podcast from WTF Dog Training. Speak to you soon.